Alright, so here is the FT Bloody Wonder, the flight test scratch-built plane that I started building with my son. We're actually building two of these, one for me, one for him. So I built mine first, and he's working on his slowly, doing it by himself as he goes along. But this is it. I'm getting ready to go Maiden this guy today. So I want to show it off a little bit before I destroy it. I have it actually balanced on the CG point, fully loaded with battery and everything. And right now I'm balancing it at just about the 70 millimeter mark from the leading edge. I've got a couple of lines drawn here that's 70 millimeters from the leading edge. It seems to be about the right point from what I can tell that people have posted online. And I did that. A lot of people suggested that I may need to extend the nose and move it out maybe an inch to an inch and a half to get a proper balance point. But actually I'm finding the opposite. My battery is way far back, and I'll show you that here in a second. But I'm also running a pretty heavy motor. This is the 2826 NTM. So it's pretty heavy, and I think that probably aids in the balance. So on the outside, just a quick tour. I am running the speed clips for the control rods. I've never used these before. I kind of just winged it. I'm not sure how much extra I'm supposed to have out. I just kind of cut them and went with it, but it is what it is. And then I'm using the flight test control horns, which were pretty easy to use. I kind of liked them, so I just bought a pack of them for $5. Same thing with the firewall. I'm using the flight test, laser cut ones for, I bought like 4 or 5 of them for $5, whatever it is. And then I am using a tie rod to hold the elevator control rod in place to keep it from flexing. That's about it. What would I do differently? I did have a couple mishaps. One of them is, let's see if I can find it. I don't even know where to find it. On the leading edge of one side here of the main wing, I actually cut a little bit more than the 50% mark. I started to add extra pressure as I was ending, but I just put tape to hold that in. I can't even see where it is now, but somewhere there's a spot where I kind of went a little bit too deep through the paper. The other thing is, when I was cutting my control bevel here for the elevator, I actually cut through the paper. You can kind of see through there. So again, not a big deal. Basically just put packing tape on the top to basically make that a tape hinge. And then on the bottom side of all of these control surfaces, I did the hot glue, lay a bead down, smear it across, just to kind of lock that in on the bottom sides. I did that on the ailerons as well. But that's about it. Let's take a look at the power pod. So looking at the power pod, if I remove the skewer and pop this out, you can see my configuration. This is how I have it right now, which is set for the balance point where I want it. As you can see, my battery is way far back. It's actually behind, or actually directly under the CG point on the plane. If you take a look at that mark on the wing in comparison to where the battery fits, it's almost dead under it. I know a lot of people have talked about having to put the battery way far forward to get the CG, but this is where it worked out on mine. So I guess the point of that story is it's going to be different on every build, depending on how much hot glue you're using, how much tape you're using, how heavy some of your components are. This is where it worked out for me with a 1.3 or a 1300 milliamp 4-cell battery. You can see I have a AR6210 RX in the back. I pulled this out of my Bixler build because I'm still waiting on my 4-channel DSM2 receiver to come. So when that gets here, I'll swap that out. But for now, I'm just using this to get it going. And then in the front here, I have my, this is a Turnigy Plus, I think it was a 20 amp. The label's actually labeled down. so I can't read it right now. But works out well. Connection point is right there. And then I already talked about the motor. So that's how that goes. Let me fire it up. I'll show you my throws. Probably the hardest part for me is getting used to getting this power pod in without all the wires getting stuck up in the top there. So I just take a quick look at it from behind as I push it all in to make sure everything looks good before I seat that up. As long as there's no wires in the way, it goes in fairly nice, just like that. And then I can push those kind of back to make sure that they're in there. But anyway, that's it, powered up. And as you can see, I've got good controls. I did go with the recommendation from Josh Bixler on the control surfaces. I'm using about a 1/2 inch of deflection in normal mode on all surfaces. And then, of course, the other important thing to make sure is that the motor is spinning in the right direction, which it is. This is a 8x4 electric prop that I would want to spin in the counterclockwise direction in a tractor, and that is working just fine. And you can see got some stuff blowing in the background. So that's pretty much it. Pretty excited to go get this thing Maiden, so see how it does. Alright, here we go. This is the Maiden of the FT Bloody Wonder. It's one thing to build a plane from a kit. It's an entirely different feeling to build a plane out of foam that you basically carved from templates. So let's see how this thing works. I'm gonna go big right away. I'm gonna do a vertical takeoff from the start. Wow. Thing will actually almost hover. That, folks, is a successful maiden flight. So what's my takeaway after my first flight with the Bloody Wonder? Crazy nimble. Has great low-speed characteristics, but will get up and go. Anyway, that's it. Let's keep flying.